So today is about chord inversions. So I have this original 4 chords piece, and I'm simply gonna show you how you can use inversions with these chords and how you can use them in a musical way. So the first inversion is when we just take the root note and octave them up. So this is the first inversion. So first, let's listen. And back to the first position. And we get the second inversion by octaving the lowest note from the first inversion. So this is the second inversion. So the original root, first inversion, and second inversion. So I hope that already now that you can hear the difference, that it kind of gets lighter, and just doing this can make such a big difference because it creates contrasts. But let's look closer. Another thing that we use inversions for is to make close proximity chords. So simply moving the chords around so we don't have to move our fingers that much. And that of course also gives a sound. So let's try to do that. So these two first chords are pretty close to each other. But this, if we use the first inversion, you can see, then now all the chords are closer. And maybe even doing this. So this is the second inversion. And let's go back to the original. So it has another feel. And because the top melody is like moving around less, maybe this would be more suitable for a vocal. And then between the vocals, having the original, for example. We could also use the notes in the chords to make melodies. So we have 3 notes. I would like this to be the top note. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. I like that. Boom, boom. No. Let's try it. What about if we move both of them up? Boom, 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 boom. So. And actually I would maybe make the melody twice as long. Okay. So I'm only octaving the top note and the bottom note, because if I'm octaving the middle note, then I'm doing something else. Then I'm making open or closed chords. And in this way, all the chords kind of have the same feel, because they are not suddenly very large and then afterwards small. They always have the same spacing, and that's maybe important, but it's at least something that's worth thinking about. So now we have ba, 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 da, ba, 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 ba. Okay. So by using inversions, we made a melody playing the chords. Okay, but another really nice thing that you can do is to make the chords sound like they are always going upwards. So let's start an octave down. I press shift and arrow down. And then I need these to get up. Second inversion. And I want it to go up, so first inversion. And then I just activate everything up. And now I'm using second inversion, and now I have lost count of what I'm doing. But I don't think that's that important either. So, but you can hear now. Let's do it one more time just to exaggerate. And it looks like it's just the bottom note that needs to get one octave up. Yes, all the notes are leading upwards. So it's the exact same 4 chords. But now it's just building tension. And one thing that I like to do is to make the chords open. So how do we do that? By simply marking the middle note. And this has nothing to do with inversions. And then octaving them 1 octave up by pressing shift arrow up. And it just makes it sound a bit larger. And what we could do now is to get the bass to also play upwards. So I simply drag and drop the upwards open to the bass part, and then I select everything that's not the lowest note, and I press 0 to mute, and then I Control A and shift down. And maybe. So now we are also making the bass going upwards. Okay, but when we can make the chords go up, then we should be able to make them go down, right? So again, we start with the original, down. So I will Control A to select everything, and then shift arrow up to octave it up. We start up, and we want it to go down, so I'm either octaving the top note or the 2 top notes or the bottom note or the 2 bottom notes, but not the one in the middle, because then we are starting to do something else. That was right. We can just again make. And do you notice that the bass is playing upwards while the chords are playing downwards? I really like that feeling. But let's do just like we did before. So I just copy pasted the bass. No, the chords to the bass, sorry. And then I'm just pressing 0 to mute everything that's not the bottom note. And I think this becomes a bit too low, so I will just octave these 4 last notes an octave up. I will still have the falling feeling, I'm pretty sure about. So let's do it again with open. So I will simply just octave the middle note up an octave. Shift arrow up. Open. Always name everything that you're doing. It's just being a good friend to yourself. Boom. And again, it's the exact same chords as this. So another thing we could do is, let's imagine that we have like the verse and then the chorus, and I just want it to be different. So in the chorus, I would use the original way of playing the chords, the root way, I think we could call it. And then in the verse, I would use the first inversion and the second. So now they are all the first, and then I will also make this be second inversion to make the proximity closer, because why, I don't know, it just gives this sound of, hey, we know what's going on. So and then what I would do is to switch around between those two so you can hear the difference. So we have like the original, and then we change. It's just more smooth somehow. And back. And then the bass could change upwards. Oh, I pressed it wrong. Upwards bass. And it's just like we're using the exact same notes, but it just makes this huge difference. And then the next time maybe the piano should play upwards and the chords should play downwards. Let's try. And then the bass back to original. So much is happening, even though it's just the same 4 chords. I got one last thing that I just wanted to show you, is we take the close proximity and we make sort of 3 new bass lines. And the first bass line, we are muting the 2 top note. So with the first bass line, we're muting the 2 top notes, and I'm just doubling the notes so to get some more rhythm. So now I'm simply just playing the lowest note from the proximity. So I will call this one close. And I will do the same with the middle note. So I'm muting the top and the low note. So only having the middle note, and again copying 1 octave, and just changing what the bass is playing is like so crucial. And second, and then we only have the top note, and I'm just doing just like before. And it just, for me, it starts to tell a story. So now we have so many different options to play around with. So let's try melody. And then change the bass. And again. And then the third bass line. and then down all together. And maybe once again while the bass is playing upwards. And then switching to playing the second close. And then back to the original. Twice. And then the bass will do downwards. And then the helm will play the melody part. So there are so many options, and when I'm done here I will probably think of many more options, and I hope that you will do the same. Try it out and make more contrast using the same chords. If you like this video, then please hit the thumbs up button and consider to subscribe to my channel. It would truly make me happy. Enjoy.